Hey YouTube, this is RobinX1 here, and I am doing a movie review for Prisoners. Now, I know I haven't done a movie review in a while. That's because I'm not gonna give you an excuse. But, I went to go see a movie called Prisoners. And Prisoners is about two kids who are kidnapped on Thanksgiving night. And we see how these two families sort of cope with that. We have one not very well off family and another fairly richer. And how these families sort of cope with that. When the police fail to find evidence on a potential suspect, one father, played by Hugh Jackman, goes on a personal vendetta against one of the suspects. And how Hugh Jackman basically reacts to that. And we also have the cop, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, called Detective Loki. Such a cool name. Such a strange name to add to a movie about this kind of thing. Because how Detective Loki is presented in his first scene looks really shady. And I really liked that. Because for me, Loki is the Norse god of trickery. I know a lot of people might be thinking Loki from Marvel, but to me the fact that he's named after Loki, the Norse god, I found really interesting. Because you don't know, is he the trickster, or isn't he? Particularly at the very last scene. And Detective Loki basically attempts to do his job and uncover several leads along the way, and also has to keep Hugh Jackman from going over the edge. And I thought that was really interesting. And actually this film was really, really interesting. Because obviously something like this is horrible. It's a horrible experience to even think about and contemplate. Like, I don't have kids, but imagining someone kidnapping your kids is a horrible thought. And I found it interesting how the leads came together, and still leaves you questioning even after the movie ended. And I just, like, personally, I wanted to know how it ended. And when you leave a film going, how did it end? I I think that's a good film. And the ending is sort of a very bittersweet ending, I think. But I won't give you any spoilers. The one thing that did annoy me about the film was Jake Gyllenhaal kept blinking every 2 seconds, and it was annoying as hell. Because, like, he just couldn't stop blinking, and now neither can I stop blinking. But it was just really annoying that he kept blinking every 2 seconds. Like, stop blinking, man. No person blinks that much. You could argue that might be just his character and the fact that the character rarely sleeps. But it's like, stop blinking. Grrr. Terrence Howard and his family weren't seen very much in the film, and I did sort of feel they were underplayed a little. Because their story was just as important as Hugh Jackman and his family's story. But their family was underplayed. And I sort of felt like it was a shame. I also found it interesting that Terrence Howard's family was the richer family. And also how there's an invasion theme in the story. Where someone breaks into another person's house. Revealed to be Hugh Jackman's story. And I thought that was really interesting. Because invasions, I think, often occur in poorer neighborhoods than they do with a richer neighborhood. And also how Detective Loki dealt with the invasion part of the story was very interesting. Because automatically he made a discriminating idea about the poorer family. Hugh Jackman was very, very powerful and very good in this movie. And as the movie went on, we saw Hugh Jackman's character break in a very realistic way. And also the character's philosophy regarding be prepared for anything is challenged. Like, you can't prepare. Like, you can't prepare for something like this. You just can't. Because you just can't. Your child has been kidnapped and taken away from you. And I just thought that was so powerful. My one problem with Hugh Jackman's portrayal was he came off too much like the Wolverine. And I saw a lot of similarities with the character. The movie highlights how people react to situations like this, and how some of the people go off the rails when this happens. Jackman states at the beginning of the movie how people in a bad situation will do just about anything to survive. And we see how that happens throughout the movie. How we have Terrence Howard, who is just able to hold himself together for the sake of his family. And how we have Jackman's character's family break down because they're not able to cope with something like that. And I thought that was really, really interesting. All in all, I thought this movie was really good, with a few slight issues. And I do think this movie is worth going to see. And also locking your doors at night. So thank you for listening to me. The next film I should be going to see is Thor. So yeah. See you all soon, and subscribe for more movie reviews and comic book reviews coming very soon. Bye.